What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Some crypto breaking news, and I'm going to keep this one short, but we have seen the SEC now giving the New York Stock Exchange, and CBOE the go-ahead to list options for trading for multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs. So we've talked a lot about ETFs this past year on the channel and how that's going to be relevant to crypto, if it's going to be beneficial, if we do see this as being an outlier or a key contributor to this next rally, this next explosion that we see in crypto. It's been the ever-longing discussion, okay? I'm kind of mixed on that. I'm a little bit half full, half empty in terms of how full my glass is when we talk about it. I'm not a big fan of ETFs, but it does give a lot of people an avenue to trade crypto and to get involved in the market that necessarily can't do it from a decentralized manner or, quite frankly, from a technological manner if they're not kind of up to date in what's going on. So I want to share with you guys kind of my thoughts. If you haven't done so, please subscribe down below, smash that like button, and let's talk some crypto. All right, and as we get into this, guys, please remember this is not financial advice. We will kind of segue into the crypto market as a whole. It's been a pretty good day. All right, a lot of meme coins are running. Bitcoin is down 0.32% at the time of this recording, essentially flat, but it has been a very strong week for BTC, up 8%, Ethereum 7%, and we have seen a lot of gains. Dogecoin, most notably, up almost 30% over the last week and almost 40% over the last month. So let's celebrate the wins. Let's keep it going into the weekend. It's an exciting time with what we have going. If we do get Uptober actually take place a little bit later, if we do get some steam from the presidential election next month, that's going to be stuff that I have my eyes on. But as it relates to this article, this is a huge one because Bitcoin, we've talked about. Okay, what is actually going to happen? And I'm going to dive in this article by the block where we do get the go-ahead for the multiple options for Bitcoin ETFs. And this is something where I have to take care of all these ads. Some of these platforms, they just have a crazy amount of ads, but accelerated approval. Okay, that's what we're going to see to allow the trading and listing of options of multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, this is something where we first saw this on the iShares Bitcoin Trust on NASDAQ back in September. And what we're seeing now is that accelerated approval in the green light to trade options on multiple spot exchange traded funds for BTC. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? Well, I talked a little bit about it earlier. It's going to give a lot of people an avenue and an option to trade crypto. And for us as more conventional traders, I'm assuming you all are, that kind of gives us an option to welcome these people in and, more users, more adoption, more trading volume, and that's more market capital. Okay, that's kind of the big thing, right? We're still hovering around 5% adoption. And if we do get bolstered by ETF activity, that's going to create more users and add to the fold. All right. But the only issue I have with ETFs, and I've said this since day one, is the institutional manipulation that may lie within as well. So this is a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing, okay? I want ETFs to be good in terms of what they provide. I want this all to be a positive catalyst, but I also want to be kind of leery of the fact that this also could be a negative as we move forward and kind of get down the road of, hey, let crypto be crypto. Don't let crypto be the stock exchange, okay? And that's just how I feel about it, okay? But the rule change that we're seeing right now is that the commission is finding, sections. You could talk about it. This is something where we saw that more so the act is what they're doing, and just put it and summarize it for you guys. It's requiring exchanges to have rules designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices. Well, that's kind of crypto in a nutshell if you want to really talk about it. And it's going to protect investors and open interest, number one. That's what I want to see. Okay, so, excuse me. So for more people that kind of trade crypto, they want to trade crypto, it's giving them a better avenue, a more regulated approach to doing so. It goes back to the old narrative too. Do you really own that crypto? I would say no. Okay, and that's kind of the other narrative. If you own an ETF, that means that BlackRock, Grayscale, all of these big players here, you can see all the list here, right here. Invesco, Galaxy, ARK21, Franklin, Van Eck, Wisdom Tree, all of these ETFs, okay, the iShares, the Bitcoin, the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund, all of these entities, when you buy an ETF, they're the ones that are owning it, not you. So when Bitcoin goes up, if something would ever to happen, they're the ones that hold the capital. An ETF's not going to move as volatile either, in my opinion, as if you just held the Bitcoin yourself. Okay. Now, Eric Balanchunas from Bloomberg, right? This is where he's saying that the news is still not a surprise, seeing that they approved the same thing for NASDAQ recently, but it's still good news as the SEC is a big hurdle. Now, whether or not the whole process kind of takes more time, but this is something where we are still dealing with this from a day-to-day basis. Whether or not it comes to fruition, when it comes to fruition, those are questions that we're all going to have. But Bitcoin hitting almost 69,000 for just a brief moment in time, not staying above there, but that's where we got to talk about it. If you want to believe in the ETFs having a role, Bitcoin is pumping. We know that during its inception, it was more of a buy the rumor, sell the news event. But the biggest thing here is if Bitcoin truly does become some kind of global currency where third world nations, inflated currency nations have a way to kind of, I guess, re-stimulate their domestic economy and really give their country a second chance, then yeah, Bitcoin does have some value, and these ETFs are just going to fuel that fire, okay? But I'm, like I said, a more glass half empty. I don't like all of these big institutions controlling BTC. It's something where, yes, it's a big entity. It's probably not even going to make a dent into it, but it's just that fear that could ensue if we do see dumping by all these institutions, if they start shuffling, if they start liquidating and moving out and kind of diversifying more so strongly than other, say, day-to-day traders end up doing with timelines, and it becomes just traded in an institutional manner. That's where I get a little fearful. But that's kind of what we have going on, and this is the biggest news on the day for Bitcoin, is that the SEC has given the New York Stock Exchange and the CBOE the go-ahead to list these spot Bitcoin ETFs. So that's what I got. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't done so, make sure you all subscribe on your way out, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.